For the old year's gone and the new year's come, and for good luck, we'll fire our guns.
They've got a possum in a box, it's plain to see. They drop it like a ball on New Year's Eve. Now people line the streets to watch for blocks, 'cause they always drop a possum in a box. These folks in Carolina drop a possum in a box, like New York City has their big ball drop. Now PETA's got themselves involved and says it's gotta stop. They cannot keep their traditional possum drop.
We're an unincorporated little town. You might call us a village or a wide place in the road. We're not very big. We've got a post office. Hopefully we're going to keep our post office. We used to have a library here, but somebody didn't bring the book back. Population of Brycetown's 240. It's been that way for 200 years. Some lady gets pregnant, some guy leaves town. We're just country folks. We're not rednecks here. We're Appalachian Americans. So, if that helps clear up what we are, that's the way we look at it. You know, we worship God and respect our elders and our mom and dad, and we have a good time.
Of course, Clay Logan is behind all this. He's kind of the mayor, I guess, of Brycetown.
This will be our 19th event of the Possum Drop in our community, and we just love it. Everybody loves it.
It's sort of become one of the staples of our community, and everybody's really there. I mean, all the locals show up.
I'm glad Clay come up with it. Holds it every year for everybody. You know, it's just a lot of people to come out and greet and have a lot of fun with. I look forward to it every year. So.
Any given year, depending on the weather, there's 2,000 to 3,000, maybe a little better people come out to see this lowering of the possum at midnight. It's good, clean family fun. A lot of local people participate, and they really like that, and I don't want to see nothing impede that. I want to see it happen.
For the first 12 years of the Possum Drop, nothing happened. Everything was great. And then all of a sudden, PETA showed up.
They started out with harm to the possum, inhumane, but then they conceded at the motion hearing before me that while they think it's inhumane and harmful to the possum, other people don't. And it's hard to get experts to testify what effect it really has on the possum. You know, whether the possum's traumatized or whatever.
I don't like that, because there's no harm to the possum. Because, you know, we lower the possum down, it's in a safe cage. You know, nothing can happen to it, and it's released right after the program's all over. It's released, it's back into the wild. And like I said, there's no harm brought to it. And I wish people just leave it alone and let us continue doing what we're doing.
I told him, I said, the possum's treated better than I am. I said, they let him ride in the limousine. I said, they don't let me ride in the limousine.
And here we are in the public limelight all the time because Peter thinks we should stop doing what we're doing. And I think it's sort of crazy because they hadn't come and really looked over the situation to see what really happens. They go on hearsay from people who come to the Possum Drop and write little stories and send them to them, and it's just a total mess.
Every time I've been on TV, it's like this right here. And they catch me right in mid-speed. And it don't do justice for me.
This is a typical Saturday at Clay's Corner. Breakfast for the men, me a little bit of music most of the time, and then it quietens down. Everybody goes does their thing. I get in the rocking chair and take me a couple hour nap. You want to cook this? I done put a half a stick in there, but that's all right.
More's better.
Oh, more, a whole lot better. Yeah, Doc Cranford is also our, not only our veterinarian, he is also our taxidermist. So either way, you get your dog back. I hate to admit this, but this is city gravy. This is not the good country heart-stopping gravy that all the heart surgeons recommend.
With Clay, you never know what to expect. He's got this sense of humor that sometimes he likes to tell a joke. We'll be at a restaurant and he'll tell the waitress, stuff like "Have an ordinary day," or he has this sense of humor, and I'm always like, Clay, wait until we get our food before you start your humor, because I don't want her to spit my food or anything if she don't get it.
It was always my childhood dream was to own this store, like it was a Walmart or a Ingles supermarket or something like that. But to me, it was that big back then when you're little. And I got the opportunity to buy it, and I did. And my wife and myself has run it now for 23 years. I had to have something to try to make a draw. And then they turned around and took charges out against the wildlife one more time, stating that the permit they was giving me was illegal. So now it's up to a judge again to decide whether that is true or not, which should take place within the next month. Inquiring minds want to know, will we have a live possum or not?
I did work for Governor Scott back in '69 to '72. One time during his administration, he had a black tie dinner at the executive mansion featuring a cooked possum. So possums can be captured, they can be killed, and can be eaten. That was just a little history that I recall when this case was filed.
I'm Mike Childs. I'm a digital publishing librarian here at the State Library, working on the state's NCpedia project, an online encyclopedia of all things North Carolina. I stumbled on to the whole story connection with the governor, which was that Slowpoke the possum had won the prettiest possum contest at the second annual Spivey's Corner Hollerin' contest. And there was only 3 possums in the contest. There was Slowpoke, a Miss Vicky from Raleigh, and then I have no idea who the third possum was. So not too competitive that year. The winner was given to the governor, who then proclaimed his desire to eat Slowpoke the possum, somewhat unbelievably. And then this raised a hue and a cry amongst our great North Carolina public. Governor Scott was forced to grant him executive clemency at a big ceremony on the steps of the Capitol. The governor might have used the same form that he would use for a condemned prisoner. It was released into the care of the North Carolina Wildlife Commission, who then escorted the possum off to Harnett County to be released at the Raven Rock State Park. The possum is such a strange creature, but it's so indubitably Southern. It's a very amusing clash of our roots and modern society coming to a head there when they used to be nobody cared about eating possums. Was just something everybody did when the season was right, and now most people are be outraged or disgusted at the idea of eating possums. So times change.
There's a fundraising chili cook-off in Murphy. We're setting up a booth, and if you win a trophy, that type of stuff. So it's for a real good cause. So Clay wrote me into helping him.
How's it looking, friend?
Oh, yeah, understands that a possum.
I've improved my possum. My roadkill is much more improved this year.
He's a caller accountant, but he don't know which way to go.
I've looked them all over, and I believe we got the best meat in town. What do you think?
Yes, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Well, I hope you come in second, fellas.
Well, I hope you do too.
First place winner on taste is someone who did win third place last year. So with the Boy Scout troop, come forward and get your first place trophy.
I thought we was going to win in each category, but you've got to be, we're not pessimistic or we're not optimistic, we're oppossumistic. So what can I say, you just got to keep the faith.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Quarter ready? All right. Okay, I will
Yes, sir.
call the case of People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, Inc., petitioner versus North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission. I don't know whether you all have tossed a coin as to who proceeds first or not, but what I'm going to do is let you call it Mr. Young.
Well, Your Honor, I will just say.
Heads or tails?
Heads or tails. Okay. Heads.
Okay. Heads. You can choose to either open or close the argument.
We'll close, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Burke.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're not here to dispute whether or not Mr. Logan could take an animal. The argument in this case is whether he could transport the animal, whether he could possess it in captivity, and whether he could exhibit it. Even if the agency were to find that the animal is well treated, even if the agency were to find that the animal is not harmed, under the law as we interpret it, that still does not allow a person to say, I'm keeping the animal as a pet.
No, I realize that.
Right, what's particularly troubling, based on how the process apparently works, is it is some balancing of whose interests outweigh whose. Now, there is a commissioner, a wildlife commissioner, Hayden Rogers, who's an official sponsor of this year's event. There is
I'm going to
senator.
object unless that's part of the record, Your Honor.
It's part of the record.
It is, and I'll withdraw the objection.
I've known Clay for many, many years, and I don't know of any other person in Clay County that I think any more of than Clay Logan. I mean, he works hard. He's always out trying to help people. He'll do anything. he's just a great person. He's a great American, and I think the world of him.
Clay's a really good person. Yeah, I work up at the community center when he wants me to. He'll say, call me and say, can you come and help me? I said, what for? He said, we got a dinner.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our combination Thanksgiving and Christmas. Christmas is a tradition. Thanksgiving's a tradition. They're important to people, to their families, and you know, it's something that you do for 15 or 20 years, and it's a tradition. You know, it takes away if you have to change what you're doing from the program that you do. Well, thank y'all for coming out. This is a good crowd. The food looks good. We're ready. This is an event that we like to get the community out and participate before all the hustle and bustle gets started. Let's let this loud Dodge get by right here. One of the events that we do each year is called the Miss Possum Contest, and it's a group of Southern gentlemen that dress up like Southern ladies. One of the things that gets you crowned is your beauty, and the uglier you are, the quicker you get crowned.
I would say, to your honor, that both the agency and Mr. Logan were put in the squeeze by plaintiffs. And the reason they were put in the squeeze, and I don't think anybody has denied this, is because they want to stop that activity up in Clay County.
And I don't plan to waste a lot of time in issuing a decision, because I know it's November the 8th today.
And a judge has just ruled that the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission does not have the authority to issue a permit for the, quote, unlawful public display of a native wild animal. In an 18-page ruling, the judge wrote, in part, quote, citizens are prohibited from capturing and using wild animals for pets or amusement. Hunters must afford wild animals the same right Patrick Henry yearned for, give me liberty or give me death. Now, I've said it before, I'll say it again, there is nothing like a well-placed Patrick Henry quote to really give an 18-page ruling on a possum drop the gravitas that it deserves.
So it was sort of shocking after 18 years of using a live possum.
That is the biggest waste of money I've ever seen in my life. We have hungry kids in North Carolina, and they've got the state wasting money over a possum that lives and walks off.
When it's Christmas in Carolina, happiness is everywhere.
George. George, what are you curious about? Wondering if it's going to snow for Christmas? Wonder if we're going to have the possum drop. Okay. Well, let me tell you that right here, George, we are going to have the possum drop, okay?
Vintage. I need to get one of
If they don't, 30. Oh, see, this, if it's pretty cold, they won't play the 2 or 3 songs. Yeah. It won't take long.
All right, and then this will be it. Okay.
have the guest of honor with her? Yes, she does. We've had some complaints. Now, let me explain. You just got to learn to adjust. You know, they one of the complaints was that the muskets scared the possum. So we did the muskets before anything come in, right? All right, and the fireworks. We've moved the fireworks. They're gonna be even better this year, but we've moved them way back up here on our own side of the mountain. Did y'all bring your binoculars with you? Yeah, you don't need them. Now, here's where y'all come in. I've got to ask you, instead of laughing and screaming real loud, will you just giggle? I didn't think you would. We've been at this 3 times now. It's Possums 2 and PETA 1. And I think it's like a World Series. We're going for the best 4 out of 7 on it. So anyhow, if the judge can quote Patrick Henry, I can quote Shakespeare. And my quote is, pull it off. My quote is, to be or not to be, that is the question. Now think about that. Are you ready to raise the possum and get the rest of this going? All right, are we ready to commence with the rest of it? Let's see what we're going to do next. Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자 그런 반전 있는 여자 나는 선호해 낮에는 너만큼 따사로운 그 선호해 커피 식기도 전에 원샷 때리는 선호해 밤이 오면 심장이 터져버리는 선호해 그런 선호해. It's time for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Today is a great day for Brasstown and the Possum Drop. Representative Roger West and Senator Jim Davis is presenting a bill today to eliminate our problem with PETA.
Why we started the bill was real simple, you know. Once the administrative law judge ruled that they couldn't use a live possum, then we got to checking into it, and it was a matter of the statutes needing tweaked a little bit to allow for the use of a live possum. It's a very simple thing. We do it here all the time, and I decided, well, we'll just tweak the statute so we can continue the tradition.
I've worked at the General Assembly for 25 years, and honestly, this has been the most fun, fascinating bill that we've had introduced. In fact, we've had probably about 1,500 to 2,000 emails in regards to this bill from China, from San Francisco, New York, and all over the world, not just the US of A. From animal activist people think that we're being cruel to this precious possum, and we're not.
Be glad when the whole thing's over with, where we can get back to having fun and not have to worry about somebody suing us.
Committee substitute for House Bill 66, Bill entitled an act to amend the law providing for the issuance of captivity licenses and permits the Wildlife Resources Commission, General Assembly of North Carolina.
Representative West, please state your purpose.
Explain the bill, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman is recognized to make the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members of the House. What this bill would do would amend the captivity laws in North Carolina to allow the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission to issue a permit for scientific, educational, exhibition, and other purposes. That's all the bill does. Appreciate your support on the bill.
Bill House Bill 66. All those in favor vote aye. All opposed vote no. The clerk will open the vote. The clerk will open the machine before the vote. 104 having voted in the affirmative and 11 in the negative. The amendment passes. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, on a motion of Representative West from Cherokee County, the chair is happy to extend the courtesies of the gallery to Clay Logan from Brasstown, North Carolina. Clay, welcome.
If you think you'd enjoy the Possum Drops, you need to come, because I was born when Moby Dick was a minnow, so you know, they ain't many more years I'm gonna do this.
They've got a possum in a box, it's plain to see. They drop it like a ball on New Year's Eve. Now people line the streets to watch for blocks, 'cause they always drop a possum in a box. These folks in Carolina drop a possum in a box, like New York City has their big ball drop. Now PETA's got themselves involved and says it's gotta stop. They cannot keep their traditional possum drop.